Hi everybody, I'm Daniel West. I own and run Colorado Paramotor, which is soon to be West Paramotor.
63 high, coming in on target. You need to move a little faster than that, son. Speed is life.
I train out of northern Colorado, so it's north of Denver. It's just southeast of Greeley, Colorado. I do travel around to other locations, but that's my primary location. Yeah, so I have in the past traveled to various locations and done training. I had a couple in New Mexico last year that I traveled down for 2 visits down there, and they also came up for a couple visits, and we did training at their location in New Mexico. I've gone to Wyoming and some of the surrounding states of Colorado for training as well. So my training is a little bit different. The weather in Colorado is less than ideal all the time. In the afternoons, especially springtime, it's very difficult to train. So I'm very flexible in the training that I do. I allow my students to come to me when the weather's good. And that could be a couple weeks, or it could be a month, or even 6 weeks worth of time. Not that they're out training the whole time, but it might be 4 to 6 hour sessions in the mornings, or potentially in the evenings if the weather is good. So it's based on the student availability to come to me for training. We are in the hills of the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee at the Moonshiners event. This has been a bucket list event for me to attend to, so I'm pretty excited to be here. Me and a buddy flew out here, which was exciting and fun and adventure, and it's always fun to go to fly-ins. They've got a different personality. I enjoy seeing all the different pilots fly here. One thing that I would say as a newer pilot coming to an event, I would say pull up your lawn chair and enjoy the takeoffs and landings and kind of observe some of the behaviors of other pilots, hopefully some more skilled pilots, as far as where do they take off at? What part of the field do they lay out? What things are they paying attention to? I think there's a lot of nervousness with new pilots at flying in an event, and it's important to consider the surroundings and what are the obstacles, where are the wind's coming from, and making sure you're not interfering with other pilots and or other people as you're taking off and landing. One thing that I always try to do is warm up my motor, and then I go set up my wing and quickly clip in and launch. Laying out your wing for 15-20 minutes on a busy LZ is not great. It's a good hazard for others. So being ready, being prepared, quickly laying out your wing and launching is a key thing for new pilots as they come into a different event. The other thing is be patient. If it's too crowded or feels a little too congested, wait a little bit. As you can see right now, there's not anybody flying. You could still go fly. So avoid some of the busy time. It's going to help you be more successful and less nerves as you're taking off, launching and landing. Another thing with fly-ins is usually there's a lot of windsocks, but be mindful. We've already had a switch in the wind direction this morning, back to the north and the south. So it's important to be really mindful of the windsocks. Just because somebody's laid out in a certain direction and they're getting ready to launch doesn't mean they're in the right direction. So be hyper diligent of where the wind's coming from, what the wind feels like. Maybe you do an approach or two at different directions to see what's going to be the best or most advantageous for coming into land. To get a hold of West Paramotor, you can look up West Paramotor or Colorado Paramotor on my website. You could contact me via the phone that's listed on there, or I'm also listed in the USPA directory and all my contact information there as well. One thing I'd like to say about fly-ins is I appreciate the friends and the family that are at all the different events. And I say family because we feel like family. I showed up without a motor and a wing, and I had no less than 4 to 6 people offer me wings and motors and helmets and anything that I needed at an event. So events are great for getting to know people, hanging out with people, and just the camaraderie that we have with meeting and hanging out with everybody. I appreciate it. I'd like to say a special thanks to Ernie. He let me fly his Fly Products unit in Ozone Sirocco last night, which is amazing. So thank you for that, and it's always a great time at events. Thank you, everybody.